So our second loop is a while loop, which unlike a for loop, which we called a fixed loop, this is conditional. So a conditional loop means that it will carry on looping until a specific condition has been met. So in this example, we're going to be looking at how many times this while loop would continue on going for. So we have a variable called num, which is equal to 1, and while num is less than 11, it's going to print inside the loop number, whichever loop number we are at. And we have to actually increment the loop manually in this case. So we actually have to add 1 to num each time. Unlike the for loop, which did that automatically with the loop counter, a while loop you have to have a line like this which would add 1 to it each time. So if I run this example, we can see that we do actually get inside the loop number 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 10. And that's because we start at 1, we add 1 to num each time, and then we stop once we get to 11. So we looked at this kind of loop in the for loop section. However, a while loop can do something similar, just in a slightly different way. However, the main purpose of a while loop, as we said, is that it can carry on looping until a specific condition is met. That means that actually we could have something that needs a mathematical calculation to continue, or it might have more than one exit condition. So in this example, we're going to look at how the user can actually manually exit the loop themselves. So we're going to use a Boolean data type for repeat. So repeat equals true. And while repeat equals true, we're going to enter into our loop. So we're going to ask the user for their name, and we're going to tell them to type exit to stop loop. If their name is exit, then repeat would become the Boolean value false. Else it would just print their name and carry on looping. The fact that if they typed in exit and it made repeat become false, that then means that our while condition is also false, because while repeat does not equal true. So if we run this to test it, we've entered into our loop because at the beginning repeat is true, and while repeat is true, we're going to enter into our loop. So it's asking me the question. I'm going to start by just entering my name, Mr. Bailey Young, press enter, and it says, "Hello Mr. Bailey Young, hope you're having a nice day." It then loops back to name because we are still at the point where repeat is true. That hasn't changed, so we're going to loop again. This time I just put some gibberish, press enter. Again, we just looped around. So this is the idea of a conditional loop, where it's going to keep on looping until a condition has been met or broken. And this time we actually need repeat to not be true to actually break out of this loop. So for that to happen, I actually need to enter in my name as exit. So I can enter this if statement and change repeat to be false. So let's try that. If I put in exit and press enter, we now break out of the loop. So I typed in my name as exit, repeat was then assigned a value of false, and as we went to loop around, it then noticed that repeat was no longer equal to true. So it breaks out of the loop and just exits it altogether until you get to the bottom. You can also use your logical operators within while loops. So this example will show you how to use the operator and it would just keep asking you what your age is if it's greater than or equal to 19 and less than or equal to 30. So just to enter into our loop, I've just said the age is 20 to start with, and when I run this, it will just keep asking me my age if I'm between 19 and 30. Let's try 23, 27, 20, 19. If I want to break out of the loop, I have to enter a number which is less than 19 or greater than 30. If I just put in 47 and press enter, there you see it breaks out of the loop. So actually in this case we've used one of our logical operators to be able to actually compare two numbers together. So in this lesson we've looked at the while loop, in particularly how it's a conditional loop, which means that we can actually have the user exit the loop whenever they want based on a set condition, which was different to the for loop where it would loop a set amount of times, which was done before the program began to run. So the while loop is quite different, it's quite powerful, and I'm sure you'll find lots of different ways to use it with some of the example programs.